Okay. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Open Up series with me and Kai. Today's guest is from Respect Mental Health, Ben Seal. How you doing?
Yeah, really good, thank you. How you doing? You all good?
Yeah, not bad, thanks, mate. Thanks for coming on. So we'll start off with the first question. So what football team do you support, Ben?
Look, you can tell I'm a Southerner, so it's got to be Man United.
Your local team.
Yeah, I grew up going to watch a lot of Gillingham. They were the local team, you know, which showed them a lot of support. My football team, we done a lot of ball boying for Gillingham growing up. But just for a family thing, Man United, you know, my mum, my dad, my mum lived in Manchester when she moved over from Ireland. My dad was always a United supporter. So it weren't so much a choice. It was there.
Exactly. That's exactly why I'm Millwall. Just put forced on me, really.
I wouldn't change it. I've you know, some of my best days are going up to the football up in Manchester. You know, it was great. But yeah, if I was going local, always Gills.
Yeah, of course.
Do you have any experience with football or any other sport? Is there like a sport that you're more interested in than football?
Yeah, no, do you know what? It's always been football. I grew up playing for different teams and school team and that. Always interested, always watching, always going to the tournaments that I weren't in. You know, we absolutely loved it. And it's still to this day, I don't play anymore. Hardly at all, you know, unless I'm having a quick kick about. But, you know, football's kind of top of where I like, you know, my sports list, really.
What about any other hobbies? What are your other hobbies? Anything else apart from obviously doing your stuff with mental health? What else is there?
Well, yeah, so you've got to respect mental health stuff. Football's a hobby, but I've kind of now got to a point where I have a lot of concentration on my kids. So my hobbies really are doing the stuff that we love to do with the kids. That's what I absolutely love to do. It takes up all my time. My hobbies is massively music. I write music and do lyrics. So I used to do a bit of performing, going back about 8 years ago, up and down the country, drum and bass. So I used to do that. So I still write to this day, but I don't do anything. I don't go out and perform. But I've got books upon books of where I write, whether it's lyrics or just poems or anything like that. So I like to keep in with the lyrical stuff, really.
That's really good. That's really good. I haven't really got many people that are into music. Like I don't know many people that are, and I think that's really good. Because I'll be honest, I've tried writing music before, but that's, you know, when it's something it's just not for you.
Yeah,
music, just not
but,
for me.
Look, I thought about that. I thought, you know what? I want to go from this side and I want to start playing music. And I've always had a love for the drums. But I don't think I've got that coordination to be able to do it.
Neither have I.
Think about all that. So, but it's on my bucket list is to learn how to play the drums at some point.
When I was in school, obviously you've got different forms in secondary school. And my form was the music department. So like my classmate went to it in the morning.
He was in,
Yeah, I was in there. And I remember one time I said to my teacher, who was a music teacher, her name was Miss White. I said to her, I want to learn how to play the drums. And she was like, why don't you try learning the guitar first? Because it's a bit easier than the drums. Because with the drums, you're doing 2 or 3 different things.
Yeah.
And I started learning. And I think I only tried doing it for a week. And I went, no, not for me. It was too much to do it.
Yeah.
I used to play guitar like back in primary school. And since like Lukey's got his guitar out yesterday, makes me
I knew you were going to say that.
Makes me want to do it again. I was speaking to him the other week when he did get it. And I was like, do I order one? Do I not?
Yeah. Well, my sister plays a lot. My sister, she grew up very kind of like distanced from everyone. We found out a bit later that she had autism. So it was kind of that social interaction that she really suffered with. But when she went into college, she met a really decent, accepting group of people and she formed a band with them. And now she's not in the band now, but she's continued to play. And she's so good. She sends me these videos of her jamming out in her bedroom, or I see them when she posts them. And I always think, it's good, but I just don't think I have the coordination for it.
No, exactly.
Yeah, I haven't got coordination. I've just about got coordination for football, so let alone playing any sort of instrument.
So we'll talk about your career, Ben. Working career. Many years ago, I think it was about 2016, 17, me and you worked together. You actually interviewed me as well.
Yeah.
Kai had a shot at there as well, where we worked.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Remember back in Dartford, Kai?
Yeah, that was when I was at my football academy, and that's just got in the way of my football academy. So the shifts there just got in the way. Like by the time I had to be there, my football academy had even finished. So I was like, we had a cup final coming up, and I was having to miss the cup final, and I was captain of my academy. So I was like, you know what, this ain't worth it. And we was getting paid there anyway, so I just left and just lived on the made up getting there.
Yeah. You know, the thing with that company is that it was like a big revolving door. You know, there was a lot of people coming in, a lot of people coming out, and you know, that company right there, they were just like money hungry, focused. That was the only focus. And if you couldn't perform or you couldn't be there for the full-time hours, it was like, well, you haven't got a job. And it was really a really horrible and toxic place to work. But it was just from the owners instilled right down to the team leaders is that this is how you had to be. And when you look back at it, it was so micromanaged and damaging on people. And you know, I'm kind of glad that I got out there for the reasons I did and started to see it as a company that, you know, this company is a bad ethos. It's really got a bad culture. And it started from right at the top. So I could see why so many people were there 1 minute and gone the next.
What do you class that as? What sort of job what is that classed as? Sales?
Yeah, it's sales. Yeah, so it's cold calling, telesales, just on the phone, constantly hammering, call after call after call, managing KPIs and booking appointments. So with companies like that, they're very, very, because it's business to consumer, they want to pressure even more because they think that the consumers are very weak people and that you can talk them around. Whereas if you went into the business world, people know what those conversations are about. You know that that person they're calling has a budget, and you know that they're smart with that budget. So you can't put that sort of pressure when you're doing business to business. Now, business to consumer, it's like dog eat dog out there, and it's like, don't worry who you're stamping on while you're trying to get to it. Don't matter how you get those deals, as long as those deals are coming in. And that's the sort of bad training that they were giving you and passing down to their leaders, is that this is how you have to be with a team. When you look at it, it was like, do you know what? It's a toxic place to work.
But what are you doing now, Ben, anyway, for work?
Well, I've since I left there, I've been working in the publishing industry, for magazines. So I've been doing a mixture of building and construction magazines. Okay. I've also done a restaurant one. That was great. I used to go out everywhere and review restaurants and
try food and all that.
Really nice stays away and do the reviews on the places. Now, you asked that question. I actually left my job last week, and I'm going back to work a little bit into hospitality section. I'm coming away from sales, and that's a little bit because I have so much going on with. I've got a newborn who's got Down syndrome, Hirschsprung's disease. My partner, she's got bipolar. My older son, he's got autism. Our family's very kind of unbalanced, but it works. But we have surgery and everything coming up this year, so my heart kind of told me that sales isn't for me right now. And I've loved it. I've done it since I was 16. But the added stress of having sales and targets, I need to keep all the energy that I can to make sure that I'm there for the family. So I'm now going to go and work in hospitality, be front of house at a restaurant, and just be a people person. You know me, Sam, I like to talk. I like to get out and about and around people. So I'm just going to go and do that for a little while, and that works in very well with my schedule. And then probably at the end of the year, when things have calmed down, we're past surgery, everyone's kind of safe and healthy, I can then take on that added lump of stress and go back into the sales world. So just gearing up now, taking a little bit of a break, and then hospitality in about 4 weeks.
Good luck.
When you was a kid, did you ever have a dream job? Are you doing your dream job now?
My dream job was to be a car salesman. So my dad, he works in the corporate world. So quite often he would be headhunted, and he'd go to a new company and they'd give him a company car, or every couple of years he would change it. So we was at dealerships quite a bit growing up. And I always remember him including me in that whole process and saying, do you like this car? Do you like that? And he used to take me out there. And I always remember, and it sounds so cringy to say it, but like, I always remember that the car salesmen, they always come out very smart, tied, done up, shaven good, smelt good with the aftershave. They had a bit about them. They had, and as to a kid, to me, Like that was just like, oh yeah, this geezer's flat out. I want to do what he does.
Yeah.
So I always had a dream of being a car salesman. I've never been a car salesman, never applied, because as I got older, I chose different paths through sales. But yeah, that was, as weird as it sounds, ever since a young age, I wanted to be a car salesman.
Carl, what was yours?
For me, when I was growing up, it was always a professional footballer.
Yeah.
Always. Yeah, and I got not close, but I got my chances, and I've just messed them up every time. So for me, it was always a footballer. Then I wanted to be an estate agent because, funnily enough, the exact same reasons, to tie.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know,
smartness. Yeah.
Yeah, you look smart. I wanted to do that. Yeah, but I'm one of them people. I've always got a new career plan. So
yeah, I think any young lad or lady, young woman that steps onto a football pitch and they play regularly, we all have that dream of wanting to go out there and, you know, be a professional footballer. With me, it obviously started like that, but you know, I kind of hit secondary school, and there was just so many other influences around me that it kind of took me away from football pretty quickly when I got into like year 7, year 8. It's that kind of thing, is that you'll really know who's serious about wanting to become professional when you hit year 7 and year 8.
I think with school, it was quite crazy in my school because we had a really good school team. And I only ever played, I don't even think I played out on pitch for them. I played in goal for my school team because we didn't have a goalkeeper. And a lot of the boys that were like, you know, I was looking at them thinking, wow, like, you're unbelievable at football. They peaked really early. And like at like 16, 17, they went from, like, I know one of them still really good player now, he plays, but he signed for Welling United first team the day he turned 16. So I was like, wow, like, that's really good. Like, that's a league off being a professional. And then now I think he got into the drink and stuff, but now I don't think he plays a high level at all. So I think a lot of people in football, they, what's the word, plateau early, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And with me, I done it the opposite way around. I always played football, always loved it. I got into a bit of trouble when I was younger, and then I stopped playing for a little bit, come out of that sort of mess, and then I started playing again. And I was okay from 14 to about 17, and 17 I started really focusing on football, and then from 17 to 19 I peaked, and now I'm just going downhill.
Yeah, well, we had two people we always looked up to through school. If you know, for football, and like everyone's like, try and be like them. Try, like the teachers would always say, be like them. One of them was a guy who actually he made it professional. He played for Gills a few times, but Franny Collin, his name was. And he still plays now. So he played for Maidstone, he's played Margate. I think he might be around Herne or Whitstable now or something like that. But he plays for Gills as well. And I always remember that year, FIFA come out, and it was just like you could play your friend. You could be one of your mates on FIFA. And it was unbelievable being able to do that. And he still plays now. We grew up around each other. We used to live next door to his granddad, but my dad and his dad have very close, but we haven't seen each other for years. It was more when we was growing up, and then, you know, you take your own paths.
Yeah. Have you got any goals, Ben?
Goals? Well, look, I'm very much focused on my Respect Mental Health stuff right now. So our big goals for the future are to really start setting up around the country and increasing what we're doing, as in, because Respect Mental Health, what we do is, first and foremost, we just raise awareness on anything mental health related. And we all know here, lads, is that mental health is pretty much attached to anything that you do. You know, mental health can be thrown off balance by anything. So we campaign for different things like Down syndrome, autism, children's mental health, adults. We then do campaigns focusing on just the men's and just the women's. But we're looking to really branch out and take this thing across the country with so many different arms and continue to help as many different people as we can. Right now, that is my big main focus, and my main goal is to grow this over a 3-year plan, and really start to help more people and see it face to face. Because right now, when we do our fundraising, we do it for other charities, we raise awareness on them, but we want to start being able to do this for ourselves and going out there and making a difference with the money raised ourselves. So we're putting together a 3-year plan to really take this big, and we want to get into all the schools, the colleges, the universities, and just be a big name as in advocates for the mental health industry. But yeah, that's my big main goal right now.
How many people is there involved in Respect Mental Health?
We've got just over 10, so I think there's 13 people altogether. So the way that Respect Mental Health actually come about was we was meant to be doing a charity calendar. So I picked 11 other people that I saw was doing really good work with mental health stuff on LinkedIn. And I said, right, I want us 12 to come do a calendar called the Unconventional Calendar. We'll run it on unconventional months like like March to February instead of January to December. So everyone's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's set up a hashtag on LinkedIn that no one's following and get people to follow it. So when the calendar drops, they all know about it. So we've done that, and that raised to like 2,000 people within a couple of weeks. And the calendar never ended up happening because we went into our first lockdown last March. So we was like, right, let's put this on hold. No one's going to want it with the uncertainty. No one's going to want to spend 20 quid on a calendar right now. Let's stick it on hold. But we was like, right, we need to do something with this hashtag. We built this. Let's not just leave that alone. That will get cold and things will run out. And just throughout all last year, we just started building on it and doing more and more work. The calendar actually we didn't end up doing it, but we done so many other different things. And then we just moved the hashtag into an actual organisation. And then hopefully in the future, part of our 3-year plan is that we'll become a charity.
We were speaking the other day, and you're doing a tournament, aren't you? We'd like to speak about this? Or
it'd be great for you to come and bring a team down. So on the 3rd of July, we're going to be doing a 5-side tournament down in Margate, and just raising money between Respect Mental Health and also a local girl, Aurora. So we've done a little bit of work and done donations before in the past, but she has a very rare form of cancer, and we're trying to get her over to America. So I've come together with a really good friend of mine, a guy that I met when I first moved down here. So he's the one who introduced me to Aurora's family over the internet, and we decided to do some work. So he has all the local connections. Me and him are going to come together and raise money for both the cancer treatment and also some mental health services at the same time as well.
Yes, very similar with how like we've destroyed between you and Rosie, and it kind of how like sort of you two connected and we're raising money for her, but she hasn't got cancer. She's got rare form of cerebral palsy, isn't it?
She has. I say cerebral palsy. It is kind of cerebral palsy, but it's something else. But it's on the same sort of lines. I will never ever remember the actual name of it, which is quite bad. But it's a very similar story. But we're looking forward to that. To be fair, I mean, we've already got the name. We're obviously going to come down and film it. We've got the name of the episode all done already. Only Fools and Horses, the Jolly Boys out in. Yeah, we've got it ready, haven't we?
Yeah,
we're ready.
We've also got a film crew there that day as well. They're going to come together and we're going to do some documentaries and some chats with all the players and everything. Fingers crossed is that, you know, certain restrictions will be open, and we're going to try and make it a bit of a children's family day as well. So, you know, if anyone's kind of local to Margate on the 3rd of July and restrictions are lifted, we're going to kind of do the whole face painting, hopefully a bouncy castle with the kids and everything like that, and make it a bit of a kids day as well. So, you know, the mums can come down and hang out. It'll be a nice day. If anyone else did want to kind of come along to it. But of course, that is... as soon as we get updates on restrictions.
Sounds like a great day for you, Sam. Bouncy castle, face paint. I love it.
Living the dream.
I love it, mate.
Sam, that will be Sam's jolly boy out.
Yeah, literally.
I won't be coming back. Leave me in Margate.
Yeah, that's all right. You can stay with me, Sam.
Yes. That'd be all right. Touch. Sorted. There we go.
So if anyone's interested in joining this, because by the time this video will be out, it'll all be in the full swing.
Yeah.
We'll leave all your socials in our bio and stuff, and what you call it on YouTube, Sam?
Description.
In the description, that's it. We'll leave all the details in there. So if any teams want to enter, we'll send them your way as well.
Perfect.
So we'll move on to the serious side. We have covered some really good bits as well so far. It's been a really good chat. But obviously, we'll talk about how the People's FC started and how Kai created it.
Yeah, it seems a bit mad because every time we do one of these, we have to go through the story, and I haven't really told the story this much, so I always end up telling it a bit different to another person. So it might sound different for anyone watching. If you watched the previous episode, it might sound a bit different, but it all correlates into the same thing. So I always say I'll turn a long story into a medium story. Basically, yeah, to get to the serious part, I was playing football on Plumstead Common, where I grew up, on a place called Wings Common, where the club was actually started. And I went into a local park just to go and play football with two of my mates that I partnered with, me and one of my friends grew up in. And I was just messing about in there, playing football, went to the bushed area of the park, started going to the toilet in there. And as I was going, I looked up and I was like, oh, there's someone in a tree. That's a bit weird. Carried on, looked up again. I'd actually realised that someone had taken their own life by hanging himself. And I, just went into a panic. I called my two friends over. We was all like, what do? We called an ambulance, all three services come down, ambulance, fire brigade, police come down. And I remember there was two things that massively hit me about the whole situation was, a lady went to me, I was on the phone, and she went, can you cut him down? And I was like, no, I don't want to go near him, in the nicest way possible. I don't want to go near. And I remember about 5 minutes after, when the woman was like, oh, don't worry, don't stress yourself about it, whatever. I was like, that could have been a difference between me saving his life or not. But he was actually already been there for about a day. So no matter what I'd done, I couldn't have helped him anyway. And, after that, about a day later, I actually found out that I knew him. So it was a family friend. Literally on every single log I've said that I can near enough see where he lived from my window. I grew up with his younger brother. My mum knows all his family. His family know all my family. We all grew up in the same sort of pub. We've all drunk in the same pub down the road from here. And that's what really hit me. So I wasn't massively stressed about the situation at all. And then when I found out that I knew him, that sort of triggered, I think, post-traumatic stress disorder, because I didn't recognise him one bit. And that's the bit that hit me the most, was that I didn't recognise him at all. And I've got post-traumatic stress disorder, and I'll be honest, I'm still not as confident around life to this day. Like a lot of things, like I've got a massive irrational phobia of opening doors. I don't know what it is, but it's opening doors. Like, if I push a pull door and things like that, it's little things like that. Like I'm not the same with. Before, I used to be the kid that was doing,
do you think that could be anything to do with not wanting to know what's on the other side of that door, or the fear of seeing something on the other side of that door?
It's more the fact, like, I remember on the day I went into my local pub and everyone was talking about it. Everyone was talking and asking me questions. And I remember going through, like, opening doors. It makes me think, if I push that pull door, everyone's going to look at me and think, like, wow, what an idiot. And it sort of reminds me of everyone talking about it on the day.
Yeah.
So that's sort of a similar thing. But yeah, I got post-traumatic stress disorder from that. And after 2 years, I decided, I want to do something about this. I don't want anyone to have to go through what I went through, and also go through what the family friend went through, which is, his name was Michael. And I said to Raja, like the guy I run the club with, I said, like, why don't we get a game together? Because I used to run a Sunday team when I used to play, like, his mates sort of team. We used to have really good games. So we done his team versus my team. We done like a cup final. The whole day went really well. We raised a lot of money, and the whole day went brilliant. So we was on our way to Blue Water one day, me and Raja. Raja was driving, and we just said, let's create a football team. Raja said, yeah, okay, cool. Raja made up a name. He made up the name of People's FC. A week later, we booked in a game, and we was like, yeah, cool, let's do it. We played a team called Eltham Athletic. It was another charity team. Played them on a great pitch, raised a lot of money for, I can't remember what charity it was because it was so long ago, but we raised a lot of money on a day for that charity. And then, yeah, we said, this is a good idea. We can use football to help people. And then after that, we just, we planned to have one game a month, one charity game a month. And then it got to the point where so many people were seeing us on YouTube and stuff and saying, like, oh, this is really good. Well done. We end up having a game every single week. I end up getting really, really good players in. And I wanted to keep the same standard of players. That I was like, you know what? We enter a league. and we'll still be a charity team. We'll be one in the league. Entered the league. Then we was on the course to win our league before coronavirus came about. We recently won our cup. We've won we won the Pumpster Charity Cup final, which is our own cup final. We come second in the country for the most charitable campaign. We've raised over nearly $3,500 for Rosie's Legs, which is one of our main charities. We've raised over $2,500 for Queen Elizabeth Hospital, and we're just doing loads. Like Sam himself, since Sam's come in, he's been doing loads, and the whole club's just been going up and up and up ever since. What
league are you in? What league are you in? So when we go back and everything opens up, are you going back into the league? Are you picking that up?
Yeah. So this would be our second season. We're in the Woolwich and Eltham Sunday League.
Okay.
We'll be going. Our first game back is on the 11th of April. So we go back in the double headers, which is you're basically playing 2 60-minute games. We're going back in. We've got double headers every single week. We've got midweek charity games. So for me, I play Saturdays and Sundays. My Saturday team could have 2 games a week, and I'm going to have 2 games to the Peoples. So it's going to be like I'm going to have 4 games a week some weeks. It's going to be mad.
That's it. You won't need to go for early morning jogs then. You'll be. I
won't be doing no more run for Rosie.
It's not even the 4 games a week. We'll be having charity midweek games, and then we've got training as well.
Yeah, but I mean, we'll have We normally train or have games on a Wednesday. So we'll have for an example, we've got London. We've got Greenwich Police on the first week back. So we'll have a game on the Sunday, then a game on the Tuesday, training Wednesday, and I think my Saturday team might have a game on the Thursday, and a game Saturday and Sunday. So that's 4 bits of football that week. Like it's going to be nuts. But luckily enough, I've got the legs to do it. I'll be all right.
I'm not massive on fitness. I only really tend to do a lot of fitness stuff when I'm doing kind of fundraisers. So last year I've done a couple of running ones. This year, tomorrow is my last day of my current fundraiser. So at the moment, I've been doing 3 weeks of solid training with a ex-military PT. And he's been training me up, doing all these kind of weighted bag runs and all these other obstacles. And tomorrow I have to attempt to take the fitness test to get into the military. So it's the final test day tomorrow. So I've got a little bit of training to do, something light, and then tomorrow I've got to go and take the military fitness test to see if I pass that. But we've been fundraising for that, just over £1,000 now. But by the time this comes out, that would have already finished. But it's been really grueling. So I'm such a busybody. I'm always doing something, but I'm not doing big fitness stuff. So it's been mentally challenging to actually have to, say, come on, Ben, get yourself up, get yourself out there. You've got to go and do some training. But I know it's only for 3 weeks, and I really struggle with it for that 3 weeks. Right, yeah. Hats off to anyone that continues and does all their fitness, because it's great for the mental health. But sometimes,
definitely,
it's fantastic. Like the running thing, I love doing the running without the weighted bag. I love that, so I can run for ages. But it's, it is really grueling. Sometimes I get up in the morning and think, I don't want to train. But for someone that continues to do that, it's a lot of dedication. But, in the long run, it's so much better for your mental health doing it. So, fitness, we've been told through this lockdown, because we can't go out and do much else, use your time outside to do fitness, to go running, to go and find a secluded place and exercise, because exercise is going to help so many people through this. The gym's closed and everything. It's going to help so many people through this. So, it's either fitness or music. They're the 2 big things that I think that have helped a lot of people. Music's great. I love music. It really, really helps me out. And then a lot of people are into the fitness. So, but you're always going to have someone that is.
I think it's with anyone involved in mental health, you can do 10 good things. You could do 10 fundraisers for mental health. You could raise X amount of money, and then you could go and write a status that someone don't agree with. You could go write something on Facebook or Twitter that someone don't agree with, and then they'll be like, "Oh, you don't really care about mental health or something." Yeah. I've had that a few times where I get a lot of messages on my social media about like, "Oh, I need advice on this, blah blah blah," and I'll be honest. Sometimes I've said to people like, you have to stop doing what you're doing, because you're getting yourself in the same rut. Like I know people that will go out on a Friday, absolutely get on it, and then they'll be skint Monday and they'll be down and upset because they're skint. And I'm like, well, in the nicest way possible, you have to stop doing what you're doing because you're just ruining it for yourself. And then they'll be like, oh, you don't really care about my mental health, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, I do care, but you have to realise that you're just putting yourself in the same situation every single weekend. Like they'll get, for example, I know people, they don't work. So they get money every now and then. Like they've got fair reasons for not working, but the money that they get, they'll spend on absolute nonsense. And then they'll come and ask to lend money and stuff. And when I say, no, I'm not lending you money, they'll get jumped with it. And it's just, that's the thing with mental health. When you're involved in it as much as we are, one bad thing will cancel out all the 10 good things you've done.
Exactly. You know, to spread this awareness and to set up things like you have and what I have, you've also got to have like kind of a thick skin with it all. You know, because some of the things that people say about you, and you know, you'll get things, especially on the internet, to people that do not know you. They always think there's some sort of interior alternative motive that you're doing this for, or you're doing it to help yourself. I don't do any of this to help myself. I do it to help other people. Exactly. No one from Respect Mental Health takes any money from this. We're all volunteers. We're doing this because we've been through all this ourselves, and we're now at a place where we think that we're strong enough to be able to help people and signpost people. So don't tell me I don't do this out of the care for other people and there's a different motive, because I don't get anything out of this. What I get is really early mornings till late nights, making sure people are all right, researching their areas, making sure they know where all the mental health services are in their area, find them online, offline places that they can go. Anything that we do is not to say, oh, look at me, look what I'm doing. It's to try and spread more awareness to get other people from doing it. But I put hours and hours into this every single day, and it's not for any financial gain or anything. 100% of what we have come in goes straight.
Hitting on egg. It's like people just think we're a Sunday league football team, but like including players and all that, not all of it, but I'm saying it's actually a full-time job at the People's. Like we have management meetings every Sunday, and we're constantly trying to get new ideas, raising the money and all that. But it is honestly like a full-time job, the things that we do.
Oh, literally, it is. Without a doubt, this is a full-time job. Without a doubt, it's a full-time job. 1,000,000%. People don't realise that. So you obviously Respect Mental Health. You've touched on it and stuff. Just if anyone wants to follow it, everyone who's watching this now will know what Respect Mental Health is, hopefully.
Yeah.
Just if you've got any socials or whatever, obviously you've got your Twitter and stuff, just throw them out and we'll hopefully people will follow it. Yeah,
of course. So Respect Mental Health, first and foremost, we spread awareness on everything related to mental health, really. We help people that are struggling. We're not professionals, you know, we're not counsellors or anything, but we will make sure that we know where you need to go to get the help that you need. And if you're not ready to go ahead and get that help, we do act as kind of coaches to you to give you some advice along the way. But if we feel that it's kind of coming out of reach, then, you know, we then signpost people a way to get the help that they need. Now, we do a whole range of different things. If someone else is running a fundraiser and they have a GoFundMe page, we will help promote that for you and do your marketing on that as well. So you'll have a place on our website, you'll have a blog spot, you'll have a podcast, you'll be on all of our socials. So we just want to help everyone else get as, you know, much notice as possible and try and help them along the way by gathering some more funds. But the main core of us really is to bring together a community of people that are, that are open and understanding and want to help each other, because the community that we have is fabulous. And there's always someone that wants to kind of step in and do something. So Respect Mental Health right now, we're mainly an awareness campaign that raises funds along the way. You'll be able to find us on LinkedIn, which is just Respect Mental Health. The same on YouTube, Respect Mental Health. And then you've got our Twitter, it's respect_M_H. And you can follow us on all of them. Now, what we do want is for as many people to get involved with Respect Mental Health as possible as well. So if you're looking to help out a charity or an organisation, drop us a message, and we can look at future collabs to help further spread the word. We've got disabilities and disease section. We've got a children's mental health, and as I said, men's and women's. So wherever your passion lies within mental health, we'd help you to be able to get your message out.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah. I think we need more things like this with everything going on. I think over the last year or so, I think mental health has been spoken about a lot more, but it's still not enough around mental health. So brilliant. With more people like yourself, I think we can start doing some serious damage to the the war with mental health.
Look, I'm seeing so many different little organisations, charities, and everything popping up from all over the place. And do you know what people say to me quite often? Like, I get this is that I'm a supporter of you, but they popped up. Can I go and buy some of their clothes? Would you be peed off with me? No, of course I wouldn't. Like, we all have the same end goal, and we all want to try and help out the struggle against mental health. So it doesn't matter if you're spending money with us to donate to charity or you're spending money with someone else to donate to charity. We're all going towards the same end goal. So we all need to work together here. Yeah. It's fantastic. I get messages all the time of people saying, I want to set this up and, and do this. Can you give me some help? Of course I can, because that's another person adding to a voice. It's adding to an outspoken person that wants to send out a positive message. So with me, it's all about working together with as many different people, as many different charities as possible. And if anyone listens to this, they want some advice to set up something like this, whether it's a website or a clothing line, as long as you're doing it for the right reasons and there's big charity or mental health focus on it, I'm there. I'm in the drive. I'm in the passenger seat. I will help you as much as I can, and then you go off and do as you wish. So I don't see any. It's not that I don't see anyone as competition. I don't class anyone as competition. We're all here wanting the same thing.
We've all got the same goal, which is helping people.
Exactly. So it doesn't matter whether they buy one of my shirts or one of your shirts or one of Stigma's shirts. It's all going to try and help raise the awareness and help with certain services, like mine and Samaritans and Tree of Hope and anywhere it is, the National Children's Society, wherever it is, it's going to a good cause. So I think the more people that pop up and do this, the better. It could never be too overcrowded. And it's great that, people can do collaborations like we're working on, and me and Stigma, because it's only going to do it for the best. It's only going to, get more people talking and hopefully save a life or two.
Yeah, hopefully, as long if it helps one person out, we've done our job.
Yeah. Each time you post, I say that if I could get this post here, if this could help change someone's way of thinking on that day, I'm happy. If I get someone reaching into my inbox to talk about their past, I'm very, very happy. If people want to say, I've suffered, now I'm in a position to help, that's great, because now that's another a branch they're branching off. So, each time I post, I always try thinking to myself, is this post here going to help someone or is it not? If it's not, then I need to work on it a little bit. And this post really needs to hit home with someone.
It's sort of what we doing, but we're doing it with medals and certificates, aren't we, Kai?
So we do this thing where we've got these medals. So basically, we send I need to send one off today. You reminded me. We send off letters and medals to anyone that's struggling. So say there's someone that is currently struggling with their mental health, we send them a letter based around you're basically encouraging them to get over their mental health. And then we've got another one that commends someone for getting over their mental health. And either one, we send them a medal, and we send them a letter and a medal just to help them in their battle.
That's a great idea. So I do kind of a similar thing, but not with medals or anything, and it works very, very well. So what you're doing there is fantastic. So if I know someone that is suffering a little bit, I'll find out what their address is. I'll like a mental health inspirational key ring or something, and then a handheld letter. I know you're having a good time. Not a handwritten letter. I know you're having a tough time. I am here for you. Want to look out for you. If you want me to help, find some places you're comfortable with talking, or even if it's to me, give me a call and leave my details. And that could either put a smile on their face and think, what, someone is actually speaking to me, and they'll get up and now then make those steps themselves, or they'll use that and say, I'm going to give them a call. One, to say thank you, but two, to say, right, let's see what we can do. Let's see if you can help me a little bit. So I think they're fantastic.
They do really help as well, because I think we've sent them all over the country so far, up to Scotland, Glasgow, Edinburgh. And people are coming back saying thanks to this, they're loving it. Like, it's a really good idea.
Yeah, it is. It's such
so
a
different.
Personal touch. It's such a personal touch to people. And you know what? It's a good thing. It will build up that trust. And We all know that if someone has poor mental health and going into mental illness, is that trust is a big thing. They don't trust anyone around them to be able to speak openly and freely. So this is starting to, it builds trust with people, and I think it's fantastic. So well done.
What is your advice to someone dealing with their mental health at the moment?
Okay, so if it is just dealing with the mental health and that you're not suffering from mental illness, a good way, because the way that I see mental health is like a balancing act. Now, mental health is just how you balance your emotions and your reactions to stuff. So if you handle it pretty bad, your mental health starts to go down. If you handle it good, you come away feeling really good. So if you're in the middle of that balancing act right there, and it starts to go down and you're feeling more anxiety, what I do is I set myself a 5-day plan. And that 5-day plan is every single day you have to do 3 things that you love doing. Okay, as simple as and this is my advice from personal experience. Mental health is not a one size fit all. So you need to find your own ideas of what's going to work for you. But first one would be in the morning. It would be an hour of feel good music before I open up that laptop. So it would be all really good, like dancing, head bopping tunes. That's for a whole hour. No devices, no laptops, nothing like that. Just music and me having a good time on my own. The second one is make sure that I get that walk, or possibly a run, but not till the summer, as we said before. Get a nice long hour walk in. Now, for me, again, it's what suits me because I go down to the coastline. Not everyone has coastlines. So again, that's just one of my suggestions that I do for myself. And the third one is, believe it or not, and I really do like doing it, but I stop myself from doing it for unknown reasons, is drink so much water. No one really understands the importance of what a water intake can do for you and how it makes you feel. Yeah. And I say that, it's not very good, but I do make sure that I have my water now. I've got my water bottle sat over there. I just got this because it was nice and cold, and I know I need a cold drink, so I talk a lot in podcasts. But it's those 3 things: is doing my music, making sure I have my walk, and that gives me the alone time as well. The waves crashing, love it. And then my water intake goes up. I make sure that I always have my water close to me. They're the 3 things that I do. But you've got to tailor it yourself and do it for your own. You might not be able to walk, or you don't like to walk, so you need to replace that with something else that you love doing every single day. And I do that for 5 days in a row, and I use those as my main concentration focuses of the day. Is that they are the big things for me, and if I can put that much focus into something that I love, it starts to alter the way that I think a bit more.
I think it could be literally anything. So with me, my advice is to always focus on whatever you love. And with me, that would be that, like you said, it would be a run, or I'd go play football. For anyone, that could be, someone could love painting, someone could love
paintings, puzzles,
anything.
DIY. Some people get their chills by doing DIY. Some people get it by cleaning. I know that sometimes when I'm feeling a bit down, I've got a whole day and I think, this is going to drag. I pull out all the cupboards and everything, and I rearrange all the clothes, and it takes my mind off things, and I actually end up really enjoying it. And then by the end of it, I'm tired, but I'm not feeling anxious, not feeling on edge or anything like that. And the day's kind of gone from there. So it's very subjective to each individual. There's that you got to find the things that you love and not really feed off the things that other people love.
Yeah, it's whatever you enjoy doing. Is what, like, I guess you and I would both recommend you to do, whether it's like we said, painting, DIY, reading, anything. Reading, and what a brilliant underrated thing reading is as well. I've this lockdown I've started reading. I'll say I've read 1 book, but it's more than what I've read in the last 7 years. So
Well, I've done about 4 books since lockdown, and before then, I've probably only ever read 4 other books in my life. But I've been getting into it and doing like half an hour of reading here and there where I can. I'm actually in the middle of writing my own book at the moment as well, about my mental health journey, suicide, kind of the challenges I went, and then where the turning point was for me and where I am now. So I'm in the middle. I've kind of put down the side of reading to actually write my book, and I'm about about 12 pages in so far. And do you know what? It's so enjoyable and it's great. It's very good to reminisce and kind of see everything from the past. And it's great. It's great. I don't know why I didn't do it sooner, to be honest. So even try out some new things, because you might surprise yourself, like I have with the book, to be honest.
Great. So the final question: if you're having a bad day, who is that one person you would go to make your day 10 times better?
It's mum. It's always mum. Yeah, my mum. She's brutal. She'll tell me if it's me or if it's something else. But then she'll also find, if it is someone else, she'll find a way to comfort me and make me feel better and get me on the right pathway. If it is me, she'll have that stern talk, but then she'd also offer the support that I need to say, now, this is your next step, Ben. This is what you need to do, you know. Or if I just need a chat with someone and it's nothing to do with an issue, still my mum. You know, she's great. She always has the good advice, and she's a pro with handling this sort of stuff. She's had to deal with me her whole life, so right now she really knows what works for me, what doesn't, what buttons not to push with me, and what side of me she can really apply more pressure and straight talking to.
So if anyone's struggling, anyone needs someone to chat to, the People's FC is always there for a chat. If we can't help you and it's a bit above our sort of level of what we know, we'll recommend you to the right people. And I'm 100,000,000% sure that Respect Mental Health will be there to help you as well. Yeah. And the same as us. If you guys aren't comfortable with something or whatever, we will refer you to the people that, you know, are professionals at this.
Yeah. Cool.
But yeah, it's been brilliant. Thank you for coming on, Ben.
No probs. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we'll leave the socials at the bottom. Everyone give them a follow. And like we say every week, if you do want to come on this show, episode series, not show, message the People's FC on Twitter, or even Ben does his own one, I think, as well, don't you?
Yeah, we've got ours, Respect Mental Health. So we talk about anything and everything over there. So, you know, if you've got a short story to tell, not to sell, we don't take money for your stories. We're not the press. If you've got a story to tell, you know, we can have you on ours as well. And, you know, it'd be great to get you lads over on ours at some point as well.
Definitely. 100%. Brilliant. So take care, guys, and have a good day.
Right.
Sweet.